you ever wondered why a certain animal came into your life when they did, or why they had to leave when they did? It's no coincidence. Our pets arrive at exactly the right moment, and they leave when their purpose is fulfilled, and ours is as well. Today, I'm going to share an incredible story about how animals show up at our life's most important juncture points, often in ways we don't fully understand until later. And if you've ever felt like your pet's timing, whether coming or going, was strangely perfect, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. So everything in life is connected, and that includes our relationships with animals. Animals don't just show up randomly, though it may appear that way. They arrive at specific moments, often just before a big shift in our lives, even when we don't realize it's coming. That's exactly what happened with Christopher. Christopher was a puppy born under difficult circumstances. His pregnant mother had been abandoned on Thanksgiving Day. She was dumped from a truck that morning, and she was left on the side of the road. She waited all day for her people to come back, but they never did. Fortunately, a kind stranger found her, and with Spirit's guidance, she made her way to me. She was so sad when she came. Her head hung low, and her eyes reflected just a hopelessness. It broke my heart, and my heart longed to help her in any way I possibly could. I'm glad we had the few days we did so I could spend time with her and give her the love she so desperately needed. Just days later, though, didn't have much time to prepare. She gave birth to a litter of 8 puppies. She was a natural and clearly loved her role as a mother. It was so beautiful to watch. From the time they were born, she glowed with a mother's pride and contentment. It's like she came alive. I watched as her sorrow turned into complete joy. Her eyes, once dull, were bright and full of hope. She was such a good mother that she took the lead. So my role was simply to be of support to her and to listen to what she asked me to do. To be honest, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've had with a mom and her pups. I named them after the characters from Winnie the Pooh, and among them was a little pup with a perfectly split black and white face, Christopher. From the very beginning, Christopher it was an undeniable presence. He was playful, affectionate, and he had this big energy, an energy that just fit with his future family, even before they knew that they needed him. So one day, when the puppies were ready for their debut, a family came to a meet and greet with the pups that I had arranged. They just felt like it was the right time to bring a new dog into their lives, though they had no idea just how much they would come to need him. Christopher was the one that made the decision for them. He ran straight up to their youngest son, Matt, jumped into his arms, and the two instantly became fast friends, rolling on the floor, playing as if they had known each other forever. The mother and 2 older children watched, and then they joined in and played with Christopher as well. The father quietly watched at a distance, smiling. He didn't say much, but there was a peacefulness in his expression, as if he just knew this puppy was meant to be theirs. So Christopher went home with them that day, quickly becoming a cherished member of their family. And Christopher took his role very seriously, giving equal amounts of attention and time to everyone. And then 6 months later, the unthinkable happened. Their father passed away from cancer. The loss was devastating. The family They were left reeling, trying to find their footing in a world that suddenly felt unfamiliar and very empty. But Christopher was there every single day. He became a pillar of strength, particularly for Matt, who felt the absence of his father most deeply. Christopher watched over the whole family, offering comfort in the form of absolute, unconditional love. And as the years passed, Christopher's role became even clearer. He wasn't just their pet. He was a guardian, a protector, a guide. And in a way, he had taken the father's role in the family. He carried them through their grief, through their healing, through the years of change and adjustment. And he stayed long enough to see his purpose through. Christopher lived to the age of 12. He was there when Matt graduated college and when his mother, after years of healing, finally felt ready to explore new adventures and step into a new chapter of her life. He had done his job well. And when his time came, it wasn't just a loss. It was a full circle moment. He had arrived when they needed him most, and he had stayed until they were ready to stand on their own. This is what animals do. They arrive at pivotal moments, sometimes before we even know what's coming. They are anchors and guides and, they're soul companions through life's biggest changes. Maybe you've had a pet who's come into your life during a difficult time, just when you needed comfort the most. Or maybe you've had an animal who stayed just long enough until you were strong enough to move forward on your own. It's not a coincidence. Animals work on a level beyond logic. They work on a very deep spiritual level. They follow a deep, unspoken soul wisdom about when to come into our lives and when to leave. And if you've ever struggled with the loss of a pet, wondering why they had to go when they did, consider this. Maybe they knew you were ready, even if you didn't. Their comings and goings of pets in our lives is always connected to our own life transition point. And it always revolves around our soul's growth and theirs. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a pet showing up in your life at a major turning point? Did you realize later how perfectly timed their presence was? And have you had an animal stay just long enough to carry you through something really important? Drop your stories in the comments. If this message resonated with you, like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to continue exploring the deep, profound, powerful connections we have with our pets, please visit my website and you're signed up for my newsletter at TamiHendrix.com. I hope you join me next week because I have even more messages from the animals to share. See you then.